From time to time, race car and race car teams do things like that to their cars to make them identifiable. Here at the 24-hour long car race, as I think all of the spectators here at the World Center of Speed will be able to recognize, when the sun goes down, as often as not, they put lights on the side windows and the windows of the cars to differentiate their car from everybody else. Because when a car is going by you at 200 miles an hour at 2 o'clock in the morning, they all look dark. What's the number on the side? I have no idea. But ours has a green light in the back corner of the passenger side. It all works out. Slowly but surely, Peter Ludwig driving a beautiful line around the race course. And if you watch really close, as we get perhaps a little bit further view of things, we can look at him slide the car around through corner number 2. Peter, I would say he's driving a beautiful line around the race course. Sometimes he's driving it sideways, but he's driving a beautiful line around the race course. If there's a fast way to do it, that racing line is the way to get it done. If it means that you've got to squeeze the car, squeeze it a little bit sideways from time to time, but carry as much speed as you possibly can, that's how you win races, and Peter Ludwig has this one in his pocket. Peter Ludwig finished second after yesterday's action. Cooper McNeil had things his own way toward the end of the race. However, over the course of the 45-minute contest, we had the opportunity. I have a feeling that Peter Ludwig had the opportunity to watch Cooper McNeil put a race line in and follow him around the race course from lap after lap and say, okay, is this how it's done? I'm going to learn a little bit. I'm going to try that again tomorrow morning when we get to the racetrack at 9:30 and see whether or not they can pay dividends for me as well. And that is exactly what has happened today. Peter Ludwig has used the learning situation of yesterday to put the 11 car out front, and he hasn't run away with it. Cooper McNeil is still filling the rear view mirrors as the Peter Ludwig car gets held up at the bus stop just a little bit. There's a minute and change left on the clock. He's going to get one more full lap in. I don't think we're going to see a checkered flag this time by, but we won't go 2 more laps without a checkered from the look of things. The racers following some of the people further down the field, the Copa Shell class machines, see the racers coming their way, move to one side. They give basically a hand signal, say, if I'm going to point to the right, that's not the way I'm going to turn. That's the way I want you to go around me. And slowly but surely, as the race leader is held up by some of the people in Copa Shell, Cooper McNeil closes in turn number 1, has to get on the brakes and give a little bit of it back. But those 2 cars, first and second place, are nose to tail. Cooper McNeil drives to the outside into corner number 3. He's going to take the high side of the racetrack. If the race leader is held up by the Copa Shell class car at the exit, Cooper McNeil's going to be able to put down a little bit more power. This might be the lap that Cooper McNeil's been waiting for. A little bit of misfortune by the race leader, and this one could change hands before we see a checkered flag. And according to the clock on my monitor, it's 19 seconds away. This one isn't done by any stretch. Cooper McNeil, and he gets held up by the same Copa Shell class car. Cooper driving from one side to the other. Please pick a side and get out of my way, sir. I'll save you some champagne. I'm going to be up on the podium, but I want the big bottle. All right, once again, the racers get up on the oval. There's only one more twisty piece of racetrack where Cooper McNeil may be able to press the advantage, may be able to slide the car around the corner a little bit to his advantage, but the gap has opened up. It's in the neighborhood of a second now. I think there's a second time. At this speed, that's how far a second is. Coming into the tight bits, once again, there's one of the back markers, one of our Copa Shell class machines. Doesn't hold up the race leader too very much, not as much as Cooper McNeil would like it to. The final lap coming around through the Daytona beach. That's turn number 4. We got a couple of cars off the racetrack, and one of them is the number 9 machine. Was in the lead for the Trofeo Pirelli AM class. Alfred Keola's come off the racetrack, as is the number 10. Down toward the start-finish line. It's going to be as exciting as yesterday's. The checkered flag flies, and Peter Ludwig is going to be the race leader. Cooper McNeil will finish in second place. Boy, a great battle for first. The last couple of laps yesterday and again today, Cooper managing to catch up to his father in the other of the WeatherTech Ferraris yesterday and pass him in the last corner of the last lap. Today, not quite as big a celebration, but I have a feeling that Cooper's going to be happy to be up on the top, the second step of the podium as well. We'll go down the list and catch up to the other race leaders as well. It's going to be the Hodes number 51 machine, the Ferrari of Washington car, winning a Trofeo Pirelli AM. The number 11 car is about to cross the start-finish line. And this is a class winner as well, the number 142 machine. A little bit further back, that is the Mark Fuller. Mark Fuller is going to win the Copa Shell class. And the 51 machine, that's Robert Hodes, who wins Trofeo Pirelli AM. A nice job. The Ferrari red machine will finish at the top step of the podium as far as that particular class is concerned. The 142 is our class winner. That's Mark Fuller. Started on the outside of his race group. Copa Shell class winner today will be Mark Fuller, Ferrari of Westlake. Should be pretty happy with that result. And right in behind him, the 171, Brian Kaminsky, hot on his heels through the entire 45-minute contest today. Brian Kaminsky won yesterday. He's going to finish second today. No doubt he and Cooper McNeil will have a lot to talk about, both in the top stop of the podium yesterday, and we'll take the second biggest trophy home today. Nonetheless, not a bad way to finish the day. We had more than 40 cars start the contest, and we had a little bit of misfortune off the top, a car sliding wide and doing a little bit of bodywork damage to the 488 to start the race today. Held things up by just a touch. However, all in all, for the most part, a successful, clean, and fun race to watch, as is always the case with Ferrari Challenge. The Ferraris got to come out and do it again. And the 121 car, the Ferrari red machine of Thomas Tibble, Ferrari of Beverly Hills, supplying the motive power for the 121 machine, class leader. A nice drive for Tom. Of course, he was out on the race course and didn't quite win the class yesterday, but was the pole sitter at the beginning of the contest. And again, another day's driving, another lesson learned. The overall race leader, Peter Ludwig, the Wide World Ferrari, rolls down pit lane and is slowly but surely making his way down pit lane and trying not to overhaul things too very badly and make sure he goes in the right order and puts the car up as close as he dares to the victory podium here at Daytona International Speedway. A great job by one and all, a nice drive by everybody concerned. Another one of our class winners, the 51 machine, Robert Hodes. 4 classes of cars, Trofeo Pirelli AM. The AM class winner, Robert Hodes, in the 51 machine, now makes his way toward the podium as well. All right, we'll watch the race leader get the car turned around. A very nicely executed three-point turn. The number 9 car at one point, going into the last lap, I believe the Alfred Kayla was leading the class in the Ferrari of Long Island number 9 machine. And we'll get another peek at it. The 9 and 10 cars coming together, I believe, on the racetrack. That's Murray Rothlander in the Ferrari of Vancouver machine. Oh, there's if there was a little contact, perhaps the 9 car spun and got collected by the 10. However, in being collected, the 10 car with some pretty substantial suspension damage, got the car back out onto the racetrack, and I would imagine he'd drive about 4 feet and go, "This isn't right." The car steering itself, one of the rear wheels has decided to go the wrong way. So that's what happened there. There were a couple of cars come together in turn number 3. As or turn number 5 rather, as the twistier piece of the race cars got a little bit too narrow for 2 of our Ferraris, and unfortunately ended the race on the last lap for both of them. But it is motor car racing. From time to time, those sort of things happen. But the bottom line is, as is always the case with Ferrari Challenge, the cars are fast, the cars are safe. Everybody got on the cars, and I would imagine they may have some words, and they'll express their condolences. And hey, we'll get together and do it again in Texas in just a couple weeks' time. The overall results: Peter Ludwig, Cooper McNeil, James Weiland, and the number 18 is Joseph Rubos, number 28, and we've got the Weinberger, number 6, rounding out the top 5. The bottom half of the first piece of our field. A great race by Robert Hodes, the class winner, with the number 31, and Chris Ganassi. Further down the list, we catch up to the class leader, the Katekis, the number 155 machine, 21st overall for Miller Motor Cars. That's the Copa Shell AM class leader. And a really very nice race for them, and of course a good weekend for all involved. The balance of the field will make sure everybody gets a pat on the back, including the Paradise Arroyo, the number 190 car, which unfortunately didn't start the race after having an incident on the warm-up lap. A tough way to start the day. However, the point standings at the end of this, we'll try to add them all up. I'm not sure how fast the guys with the